Okay. So we're here tonight to show you something very, very cool. It's a new technology by Gap Innovation. It's for the turbodynamics tune. Basically what this does is through the O2 sensor, a wideband sensor, added as an option. The computer monitors the air-fuel ratio of the engine at all times and makes micro adjustments. What that translates to is that you'll make up to 10 more horsepower on every map, and more reliably actually, and the sleds are going to be more consistent. It's always going to be on point. So whether it's a hot day, a cold day, a super cold day, the air fuel is always going to be very close to what we target. So that gives us more option to do like more aggressive tuning, for example, because we know the ECU will enrich it if ever it gets to a lean condition. So in the past, snowmobile tuning, we would always add a little extra fuel, okay? Because we got to think about those days where it's minus 30, the air is very dry, and the machine's making a lot of power. So we can't really start going crazy by leaning it out, and then it makes good power, but then on a super cold day, it could be dangerous, okay? You can get knocked. So with this technology, we can set it a little leaner, and then if ever it goes too lean, it's going to enrich it on its own. So the computer is pretty intelligent. So it's somewhat, you can almost call it like an auto tuning, okay, by the computer. So I'm going to start a little presentation here. And it shows a few points, okay? So that technology pretty much is something new in the sleds. It's never seen before. OEMs don't do that. They don't use that. You could see on the 1100 turbo, there was some type of closed loop, but it was with a narrow band. It was very basic. It was only like at power throttle condition, okay? With this one, it goes power throttle, mid throttle, full throttle. So the computer's got control through the whole range, okay, of throttle position. So another big thing is fuel economy. You're looking at about 18% increased fuel economy in some condition. It will vary between 10 and 18%, but overall, you'll never have a sled that's that good on fuel. So your range for your sled to go to your destination is going to be very increased, okay? So you're going to see like better fuel economy than almost any other sleds out there, okay, with a turbo sled and a big power sled. So it's only advantages. Here you see the O2 sensor kit that you need to make this work. So you need to go get one of those wideband O2 kits that we sell. TD wideband O2 kits, okay? I would say go get it pretty soon because they will sell out very fast, because every single guy that wants this technology, he needs a wideband kit, okay? On top of that, you need to add the closed loop option, the TD gap closed loop tuning option, okay? So you need both. So now I want to show you a little bit other advantages, okay? So we've talked about like on a hotter day, your machine's going to perform better. On a colder day, it's going to be safer when it's super cold. It's always going to be rich enough. But if you do like altitude, if you're like a mountain rider and you go at high altitude, that was a problem. Before the tools would get very lazy up there because it's hard to predict exactly the kind of fuel you need at 10,000 feet altitude with the low oxygen level, okay? And we show it on one of this on this presentation. We show the oxygen level decrease at 10,000 feet. You'll see a graph shortly. So now we'll do some runs on the sled and we'll show you like enrich. We can do a live adjustment of the target air fuel, okay? So in your case, you won't need to do this unless you're a racer. If you have the TD Flasher or the TD Copy Trail, you can get that option where you get those sliders and make your own air fuel adjustments, okay? But I would suggest that this is only for advanced users and only if you have like the whole kit. You got the flasher and you can monitor everything. So see, yeah, that's the oxygen level, 30,000 feet that nobody rides there, but 10,000 feet, you got only 70% of the oxygen of sea level. So that's a big decrease. And of course the sleds run super rich up there. Even with all the compensations, it's not quite as good. With this, no matter what altitude you're at, it's always going to be perfect. So yeah, let's do some runs. see that's the closed loop auto tuning option on the web store. You can go pre-order it now. It's going to be available pretty soon. We don't have an exact date, but the technology is already working. But there's always new features being added and always improved on. But currently it works really, really good. So. Yep. And now we are showing a few of the new products here this year. Of course, the TD Stage 6, it's not brand new, but it's still top of the line. TD header, the closed loop option, the super cooler, and the 3-inch super quad exhaust are something new this year. So the Max Flow 16 SM as well. And another thing you'll see with the closed loop is that every single tune is going to get an increase in power, which is pretty cool. So let's do some runs. We'll start the sled. Good. So we'll show you what's happening here on the graphic right on the TV. Hang on. Okay, so you see what's happening on the iPad. You got your boost level here. You got your O2 sensor reading. So for example, for pump gas, we're going to be targeting about 11.8, 12, 12.1 air fuel, up to 12.2. Then you got your engine temperature. We're going to make sure on the dyno we don't overheat. And this is the closed loop adjustment. This is how much the ECU is playing with the fuel, okay? This is actually pretty cool because when we first started testing with the stock muffler, you could see the computer pulling fuel because right now it's pretty warm. We're about like 22 degrees and very humid. So the tunes are not optimal for this condition. So the computer was pulling about 8 to 10% fuel to be optimal, okay? But this is a 3-inch exhaust and I've got a header on this one, okay? So because of the header and the 3-inch, we're making so much power that the tunes I got in this right now are not the header tune. So we did it kind of on purpose to show you how much the computer can make adjustment with a closed loop, okay? So let's try it. So I don't know if you can see the screen here. This track dyno is modified. It's got heavier weights. The conversion factor is about 2.85. Okay, so this is a stock run, and this is the Echo Trail. However, it's not a regular Echo Trail. This is a 3-inch with a header, and it makes a lot of power. If you look at 101, that's about 288 horsepower. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to enrich it through the closed loop, show you how the computer can manage the air fuel ratio. So right now we're targeting about 11.8 to 12, and so as you can see, the closed loop adjustment was being made to maintain roughly 11.8. Now with this machine, there's not enough fuel to really put it in the 10-to-1s, because at this part level with the header, we're near the injector limit, but we can make it pretty rich, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. So what we did is now I put it back to the optimal airspeed. And this is what it's going to be set out for in the tailpipe. Okay, so if you see the run here, the last run, we made 103.85 on this dyno with the 650-pound custom weights. That's multiplied by 2.85. So you're looking at, where's the little calculator? Look at 295 horsepower. So the way it works is that this motor, when it gets warmed up like that, the pipe is hot, the header is hot, it makes a little bit extra horsepower. So the first run was in about 288, and the last run was 295. But if we had go in the 10-to-1s, I didn't record that one, but it certainly would have dropped horsepower by about a factor of 8 horsepower. Okay. So let's do still cold enough. We can do, let me see something. Make sure the intercooler is cool enough. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we're going to go with a power trail this time. So when it comes to the header and the 3-inch, it seems like the tunes, they're pretty close to each other. So even an Echo Trail makes a lot of power, Power Trail makes a little bit more, Max makes a little bit more. When you're in the more restrictive exhaust, the tools have a larger difference, okay? Okay, so can you come closer? Yeah, okay. So we got 105 horsepower at the track on this dyno. And if you look at the graphs here, the power trail kind of maintains the horsepower. So there's quite a bit of difference. If you hit, like if you look at just a peak, it's not so much. But if you look down at about 80 miles per hour, once the clutch is shifted out and the load is completed, there's about 6 horsepower at the track, which is 6 times 2.85. So there's about a 17 horsepower difference once the clutch is shifted out. And the peak horsepower is $297 on Power Trail. So now we're going to hit max 17. We're going to see if the motor is cool enough. It's getting just about right. That should be all right. Max 17. Yeah, we'll do max cool. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we only have max 17. That'll be fine. Okay. See, this max 17 normally wouldn't have enough fuel, but due to the closed loop, we're okay. Okay, it's gonna add the extra fuel. Okay, so 109 at the track, and we look at the stocker. We start with 73 here. Okay, that's a stock machine. That's 311 horsepower at the crank. So, as you can see, the air fuel keeps adjusting properly. We're going to make another video of this that's going to be more obvious with a stock exhaust. When we put this 3-inch in the header, we're maxing out the fuel system, so you cannot see it go like 10 to 1, but it definitely works really, really well. It keeps you at the proper level. On this bad boy here, we'll have to put like a regulator. We'll crank the regulator up, and guess what? The closed loop is going to readjust our fueling. Even the cruising, the low throttle position, full throttle. So no matter how much fuel we throw at it, it's always going to correct. So of course you still want to have a good tune. You still want to have a tune that's fairly close, so the computer doesn't have to do all this adjustment. So right now, we did on purpose. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, we're doing it on purpose. We put a tune that is not optimal for a header. Normally we have a header tune that's richer, because we want to show you how much the computer can compensate, okay, to not only give you better performance, but also save you more in case that you increase the airflow.
Mid-range?
Yeah. So Mike wants me to talk to you about the mid-range. So that's we're always talking about full throttle, but even the mid-range. When you're cruising, you're going to be always in optimal range, meaning fuel economy. So it's pretty simple. It's going to be very good on fuel economy. It's also going to be safer, because sometimes half throttle, some tunes, some condition. For example, if you have like a ram air with a header, sometimes you get a little bit of a lean condition. But see, the computer's going to compensate for it. So that's another really cool thing. And there's so much to talk about. Honestly, there's so much testing. We probably have over 200 runs just this season. We got to compile all the data. We'll show you in details. Also show you the logs. But right now, that's it for tonight. We had some technical difficulties with the live room earlier. So hopefully everything's okay now, and that you understand what we're talking about. So like I say, go get your white Dyno 2 kit before we run out, if you don't already have them. And then get the closed loop tuning option. So thank you, and good night. Bye.